top of you. Parading through the city, the whole block come out for you. We just getting started, y'all finna see what
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. Is 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in Week 4. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The first throw, here's Winston. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. It's tipped, but it doesn't matter. He still catches it. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Well, when it comes to throwing the deep ball, no one has ever questioned the arm strength of Jameis Winston. And this is a beautiful throw right here. First carry for the Iowa State man, Breece Hall. And he is going to lose yardage here. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Ball again on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
They pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Ball again. Trying to find a lane, but he finds nothing but defenders. Stop for no gain at the 2-yard line. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
They'll look to run with Hall. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
They get this out quickly to the left side. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Juwan Johnson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. From the 6. A dangerous return man showing it here. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his throw here's incomplete. So this game here in London, the first of 5 games in the NFL International Series for 2022. We'll see the Giants and Packers here next week. Broncos and Jags at Wembley at the end of the month. The Seahawks and the Bucs, that'll be in November in Munich, Germany. First time a game's been held there. And then we wrap up down in Mexico City, November 21st. Cardinals and Niners from Estadio Azteca. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First carry now for Alexander Madison. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Cousins. And his throw is incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Cousins to throw it. And that will be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Yeah, this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a 1st down now, playing behind the sticks.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. A quick throw out wide to Fuller. Good strength, but not able to get a whole lot. Tackled shy of the 10. They'll give him 4 yards there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. action. Winston. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The last series for them a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4. Well, this defense for the Saints, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was pop free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, here's Cousins. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. On the move past the 40. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. To throw is Cousins. This goes out wide from Madison. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on, he's going deep and you catch him close to the spot.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. Third and short yardage. Cousins. We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints will take over here just shy of the 30. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
Following the interception, Winston. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
To throw again on 2nd down. Winston. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
And And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. The Saints at 3-0 here in the month of September. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Jameis to throw it. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for them on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your back pocket. You were waiting for that.
Probably should have left it in my back pocket, too.
Well played. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing, Winston. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
But these are the situations that really test a defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick, if indeed they end up trying one.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, so far on this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Got an open man, it's Olave. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
2nd and 5 now. Winston. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Dalvin Tomlinson in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Winston. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing is Cousins. And he's taken down here by the Saints. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
I know we don't have a special scoreboard to show it, but the offense, they've surrendered more sacks than they have points thus far. This defense, they're winning in all phases of the game right now.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
And the 3rd interception thrown by Cousins. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They go play action. Winston. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Play action now. Winston. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On 3rd down, here's Hall. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A good effort there, 9 yards, but it's going to leave them looking at a 4th and 1. Will Lutz now to try the New Orleans field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Lutz is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. Cousins throw pulled in by Jefferson.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Cousins. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
Well, Charles, they're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the 2nd half.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Throwing, Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Marcus May with a pick. The 30, 10, 5, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this 3rd quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick 6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Taken from about the 12.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination.
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Cousins now.
Middle of the field to Jefferson.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
They're going for it. Here's Madison.
And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape.
So 1st and 10. And if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Winston.
And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force the incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Zadarius Smith able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking the lead. Thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance.
Into a sea of defenders, had intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
So a line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm. Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 40 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Play fake. Winston. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
They'll run with Hall. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
After the sack on first down, Cousins. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
One.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Cousins now to throw on first down. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. To the air again, it's Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a fourth straight loss.
Back to it after the pick six. Cousins. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on first down. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. To throw, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And that will force a turnover on downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Hall want to give up the middle. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down and getting...
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot.
And the Saints' pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Another try after the 1st down sack. Cousins. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
3rd and long for Cousins. And now here is another interception.
Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Saints will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
53 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Winston. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
He wants it all for the end zone. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it? And my goodness, another interception. Marcus May with a pick, and they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Ball again on second down. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They're looking to throw this. Winston. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. Well, he wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
And his kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Here's Madison running on first down, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that, you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring.